you can call me Ricky. I actually prefer if you call me Ricky because that was a nickname that I always wanted to take and it never ever did. So my name is Ricky. And I'm just gonna say right now, I'm probably not gonna post on here very often. I'm those type of people that say, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then it never gets done. So I'm going to be talking about my 5 favorite books that I actually have and I can hold in my hands. This is not counting my top 5 favorite Kindle Unlimited books. Now, some of these books, I know they're my favorites, but I don't remember everything about them. Just because I read a book and then it immediately just starts to leave my mind. But I'm gonna go with the first one. This is Garden of Shadows, V.C. Andrews. It is the like prequel to Flowers in the Attic. It has to do with a grandmother in Flowers in the Attic. If I'm not mistaken, I read this in 2020, and from what I can remember, it was really, really good. It has to do it tells you about why she was the way that she was, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 at the time, and yeah, I really liked it. So that one, V.C. Andrews, Garden of Shadows. I'm gonna save my most favorite for last. This is one of my favorite books though. Obviously, this is my top 5. Debbie Macomber, Cottage by the Sea. It is just such a feel-good book. Like, I read this and I just felt comfy and cozy. It is about these two people. Their names, I feel like his name is Sam. Her name is Annie. Never mind, his name is Keaton. His name is not Sam. His name is Keaton. There's some tragedy that goes on with her, Annie. She loses everything. She loses everyone in her family, and she starts off to not be like the best type of person, I think, if I can remember that. This I read in 2021, I believe. 2022. I read it in 2022. And they end up falling in love. And it's just, there's a lot of things that go on between, but this is, yeah, Debbie Macomber is one of my favorite authors ever. My uncle actually gave me this book, and he gave me a whole bunch of her books, and I haven't read one that I hate. I love them all. I have another one that I want to add onto this list. Do I want to switch it out? I want to switch it out. Okay, this was gonna be one of mine, Haunted River, which is really good, but it's not going to be in my top 5. So, honorable mention, I'm gonna go ahead and add A Distant Shore by Karen Kingsbury. This had to do kind of like, I think it had to do with like sex trafficking. Yeah, and the main characters, don't remember their name. Eliza. Her name was Eliza. And a lot of things happened with Eliza that I cannot remember, but this is such a powerful book and I cried so much. So I really recommend this, and I'm going to read it again because I remember being so moved by this, but for some reason there's no memory. Now this one. If you follow my TikTok, which you should, my name is, what's my name? I think it's just Ricky Reads. RICKI Reads _ I've gone on about this book, about this series. It's a 4-part series and then 4 novellas after, kind of like their life after the huge emotional journey. Like, this is what got me into some smexy smicks. I love the spice, I do, and this is what really introduced me to that and an age gap. And I'm just gonna say, my nose itches so bad. This is not gonna be for everyone. I already know that, so don't hate me. So the gist of this book, I do remember this one because this is, like I said, it just changed my whole world. Her name is Petra, and she's 17 years old. She falls in love with, I think he's 42. I don't remember. Alex is his name. Now, stop it. He's her godfather. hold it. It's not like that. Like, they're not blood related. It's just her dad's best friend, pretty much. And gosh, this series is wild. Like, I can't even explain. There's such an emotional roller coaster, and it is spicy. Like I said, this was like my introduction to spice, so it's not like beyond, like, you know, it's spicy, but I've read spicier things. I read Marco Scott a couple weeks ago, and wow. Anyway, Blossom in Winter. I mean, I was reading these in the summer of 2022. I read one of these a day. I mean, this is a lot. 542 pages, and I read it in a day. Okay. I don't know how I did that, but whatever. Now, this one. Take a moment of silence, everyone. This book is what got me into reading. Okay? Like, it really... I read this book because I remember in 2021, some things happened. I lost my grandfather, and I was very depressed, and it kind of started this wild journey that I have been on, and my family has been on since losing my grandfather. And I remember December 2021, I went to the Amazon store. My mom and I were Christmas shopping, and I saw this book there, and I said, this looks like the cover, the name, it looks very interesting, and I'm gonna buy it, because in 2022, I'm gonna start reading. My mom thought I was crazy because I just simply, I didn't read. I didn't like it. I'm dyslexic. I was a horrible reader in school because I just did not have fun reading. And I mean, when the words are all discombobulated, you're not going to want to read, right? Well, I bought this book and I finished it within a couple of days, which was really wild for me because, like I said, I didn't read. And finishing this period, like, it was a miracle, I guess. The book is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I can't even explain how incredible this book is. This changed my life. So good. 100 out of 5. Like, so good. So her name is Ellie, and I believe she has this tutor. I'm not going to give anything away, but she has a tutor. Her name is Ellie, and she goes missing. And I'm not going to say anything else because you have to be on this. You have to go on the same emotional journey that I went on. You have to. Please stop what you're doing and go get this book. It's like, I cried so hard. I finished this book. Gosh, I have another book that I want to add. Okay, another honorable mention in just a second. But I finished this book in the middle of the night, and oh my gosh, the tears, and I just felt such sadness. And it was good. This is my favorite book. Like, it's so good. Now I have one more book that I want to talk about. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. That doesn't sound right. Delia. I can't say her name, by this lady here. Now, I know there's some controversy about this author, and I did not know that until after I read it. And if you don't know, well, you don't know, this is my first video I've ever posted on here. I am a dance instructor. I choreographed a solo to Carolina. I only chose that song because I was obsessed with this book, and the person that I choreographed for was obsessed with this book. And it was a really, really great dance, if I must say so myself. Like, I'll have to show you. I'll just tell you guys about it. I'll have to show you. It was really good. But anyway, so this book, it just means so much to me. So this is going to have to be in here somewhere. Which one would I take out? You know what? I'm gonna take out Garden of Shadows, my first book. Because this has to be in here, just because it means so much to me, that book. Now this book was still really good. This is a complete fail of a video because I swore it was only gonna be 5. No, there's 7, and my top 7. I don't know. This book was really, it was good. And it, like, I had watched all of the movies, I read some of the books, and reading this before, it kind of gave you like, okay, well that's why she was like that. Even though it was just like, it was horrible. She was horrible. But it gave you an idea of why. But this one, I remember when I read it, I was in the, preface. Okay, so my grandmother was in the hospital at the time. This was 2022 again. And of course, because that's when I started reading. And my dad was in the room. We were in the living room and my dad had fallen asleep. Like, whatever, I don't even know what time it was. And I was bawling loudly. And my dad woke up and he was like, what's going on? And I was like, this book is just so sad. And, you know, it was the end. And yeah, when books make me cry and feel something and they take me on a journey, I just have to. I have to acknowledge that. And this book, and I believe this book made me cry. I know all 4 of those did. This one, it made me feel good, and I'm sure I cried at some point, but it made me feel nice and warm and cozy. So anyway, I guess that was kind of a fail, but you know what? That's how I am. That's me. And this is, I'm locking it in, Bob. Final answer. This is my top 5. These are my top 5 physical favorite books. Top 5 favorite physical books. I said it wrong. This right here, these right here are my top 5 favorite physical books. And I will try my best to do a top 5 favorite Kindle books. There's a lot. It's gonna take me a little while. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you subscribe. If you don't, I don't care, but you should. And give me a thumbs up if you like it. Don't do that. Don't listen to me. You don't have to do it. Just, I hate myself. That's it. Goodbye.